Hello yogis, Megan here again with Yoga with Megan for another 10-minute teaser. This week we are actually going to be focusing on hypertension or high blood pressure. So some simple poses to help get our bodies back in alignment. So sometimes our hypertension is medical, but sometimes it's also emotional and stress and anxiety induced. So yoga in general helps manage that, as well as getting general physical activity. So today's practice really focuses on poses that are meant to bring renewal to the body. So please, if you have yoga blocks, grab them. If not, make sure you have one or two pillows handy, because we will definitely be using those for this practice. We're going to get started in a seated Baddha Konasana, so a seated butterfly pose. You're going to bring the soles of your feet together and your knees wide. If your hips are a little tight, you can sit on your pillow or block or bring them under your knees. The goal here is to really press through the tailbone, extending the spine up, shoulders over hips. Take 3 shoulder rolls here. Just a gentle opening. Big full inhale, and then a deep exhale. And this time I want you to inhale, lift your shoulders up by your ears, squeezing everything. And then sigh out, let your shoulders drop. One more time, just like that. Big full inhale, squeeze your shoulders up high. Exhale, let them drop. So taking your blocks or pillows, I want you to just roll your forehead down and rest it on a block or a pillow. Maybe you even do this on the floor in front of your couch or a chair. The point here is to let your head rest. And then inhale, rise up. Exhale, extend your left leg, bend your right knee in. So you're doing like a seated tree pose. And then shift your block or your pillow either between your bent knee or just on the outside of that shin, and fold over. Same thing here. You want to rest the forehead on the pillow or block. This is a really gentle forward fold. We're relieving any stress from the neck, right? The whole point is we want the arteries to flow freely. So this is a little bit more of a yin or restorative practice. But we've only got 10 minutes. So sorry. And then inhale, rise up, switch your legs, bend over the other side. With each exhale, just relaxing, settling in. Become aware of how the back of your neck feels, if you're hunching or tightening anything. I tend to really clench my jaw. So just want to start to relax all of that. And slowly lift up. Come onto your back, knees bent. Take your block or your pillow, and we'll take a restorative bridge pose here. So all that means is you're going to lift up your hips and put the block or the pillow under your sacrum, so kind of the space between your low back and tailbone. Just a gentle lift here, right? Again, we're not forcing anything. We're just allowing for some small inversion. So sometimes full inversions like headstand or handstand can be too much for people with hypertension. Some yogis advise against all of them. I think legs up the wall is okay and bridge pose. But again, you're the boss of your body. One more breath here. Pick up your hips, remove your block. Come up to seated, however is comfortable for you. We're going to take a hero pose. So you're going to tuck your legs underneath you so your toes are facing back. And then I have super tight hips, and so I'm going to sit on my block. And you can do the same thing, sit on your block or a pillow. Again, no forcing here, so really bring it up a notch higher if you feel too much pulling in the knees or the low back. If you're really open and you want to jump right into reclined hero, you just go right on ahead. And the whole point here is to get gentle blood flow happening across the body. If you're in reclined hero, lift your torso. If you're not, just like the rest of us, you're just going to simply come up onto your knees, pick your hips up, remove the block, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. However, I want you to move your block or pillow under your head. So it's more like a supported down dog. You might have to take it to the highest level. You might need extra pillows. You might not feel it's necessary. Couple more deep breaths in your downward facing dog. Now drop onto your elbows for a dolphin pose. If your block is super high, right, you're just going to pick up one hand, shift it, and then drop onto your elbows. The whole goal here is to have a straight line from the top of the tailbone to the crown of the head. Water behind the knees, as generous a bend as you need. One more breath here. I know it's hard. The shoulders are activating. Press back to your down dog. Step your feet to your hands. Forward fold. And this really is any variation of forward fold that your body really likes. But no matter what, right, we need about 10 to 20% bend in the knees, unless your back is really, really tight, and then 30% is just fine. Awesome. Lower the tailbone, coming back to the Baddha Konasana we started in. So all that is, right, is a seated butterfly. Even though we've just had a short little practice, notice the difference right here and now. How do you feel in your body already? I want you to take a big full belly inhale and sigh it out. Now find a wall or a couch. We're going to end our practice in Viparita Karani, which is just legs up the wall. So you want your tailbone as close to the wall as possible. And then if you still have that block or pillow handy, you're just going to simply lift the hips, place the block underneath you. And we're going to spend our last few minutes of practice here. Your feet might begin to tingle or go numb, and that's just fine, right? We're reversing blood flow. As always, I will bring you back when it's time to return to your body. Gently begin to flex and point your feet, rolling your ankles one way and then the other. Bend your knees, place your feet flat on the wall, press into the wall to lift your hips and remove your block. Roll to the opposite side of wherever you put your block, coming to a fetal position. Take a big full inhale here. And a nice big sigh out. Making your way up to a seated position. And bring your hands to heart center. And then begin to rub your hands back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, creating heat. Rub them more. And then place your hands over your heart. Right, this whole practice was about restoring balance in the heart. So we're going to end our practice palm over heart with some energetic heat sent there. So your heart knows that you value and appreciate it. And you respect that the anxiety it feels and the stress is to protect you. But now your job is to protect it. It is always my pleasure to get to practice with you. And the place in me where love and light resides reflects back the place in you where love and light resides. Together we say, Namaste.